Welcome to Trump Wire, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. In a stunning move that few saw coming, Germany and China have announced a sweeping trade and investment agreement, marking a pivotal moment in global affairs. The deal, signed with much fanfare in Berlin, represents not just a new chapter in bilateral relations, but a dramatic shift in the world's economic and political balance. The announcement sent shockwaves through Washington, Brussels, and beyond, as policymakers and analysts scrambled to assess the implications. Financial markets reacted instantly, with investors weighing the potential for both opportunity and disruption. This isn't just another deal, it's a bold recalibration of power, signaling that Berlin and Beijing are charting their own course, independent of the transatlantic alliance. For decades, Germany has been a cornerstone of the Western Bloc, but this agreement suggests a willingness to redefine its role on the world stage. The timing is remarkable. Under Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Germany was widely expected to distance itself from China, especially amid growing calls in Europe for strategic autonomy and reduced reliance on Beijing. Yet, economic realities have prevailed, and Merz's government has chosen engagement over isolation. Despite political talk of de-risking, Germany's industrial base remains deeply tied to China. From automotive giants to advanced manufacturing, German companies depend on Chinese markets, supply chains, and investment to stay competitive in a rapidly changing world. The pact aims to secure German interests while creating a new framework for competition, one defined by Berlin and Beijing, not Washington. It includes provisions for technology sharing, joint ventures, and streamlined regulatory processes, all designed to foster deeper economic integration. For China, it's a diplomatic coup, pulling a key U.S. ally closer and proving its economic gravity is irresistible. The agreement is seen as a major win for President Xi Jinping, who has long sought to expand China's influence in Europe and counterbalance American power. For Germany, it's a pragmatic assertion of autonomy, prioritizing its economy over U.S. trade policy. Merz's government is betting that closer ties with China will secure jobs, boost exports, and ensure Germany's continued prosperity in an uncertain global environment. The world is watching closely. Will this new axis bring stability or deepen global fault lines? Allies and rivals alike are recalibrating their strategies as the ripple effects of this pact begin to unfold. One thing is certain, the global economic landscape has been fundamentally altered, the rules of engagement are being rewritten, and the traditional centers of power are being challenged as never before. The aftershocks of this decision will reshape alliances and commerce for years to come, as nations adapt to a world where the unexpected is now the new normal. To truly understand the significance of today's deal, we need to look back at the turbulent years that shaped the current global landscape. The trade wars of the past decade didn't just make headlines, they fundamentally altered the way nations approach commerce and cooperation. When the Trump administration imposed sweeping tariffs on Chinese goods, the intention was clear: to shield American industries and retaliate against what were seen as unfair trade practices. But the consequences of these actions rippled far beyond the US and China, sending shockwaves through the entire global economy. Europe, and Germany in particular, found itself caught in the middle. Tariffs on steel, aluminum, and auto parts didn't just disrupt supply chains, they threatened the very foundation of Germany's export-driven economy. Factories slowed, uncertainty grew, and the interconnected web of global trade began to fray. The World Trade Organization, once the referee of global commerce, was increasingly sidelined. German manufacturers, long accustomed to stability, were forced to confront a new reality. In a trade war between giants, Europe could easily become collateral damage, with little recourse or protection. This climate of chaos and unpredictability pushed Berlin to rethink its strategy. German leaders and business executives began searching for new ways to secure their economic future, seeking out partners who could offer stability and reliability. The result is the new German-Chinese Pact, a carefully crafted agreement designed to act as strategic insurance. For Germany, it's a way to insulate itself from the volatility of American politics and the uncertainty of future trade disputes. The painful memories of supply chain breakdowns and sudden tariff threats have left a lasting impression. Germany is now determined to diversify its partnerships, ensuring that it's never again so vulnerable to the whims of distant policymakers. The Trump-era trade wars didn't just impact China, they forced Germany to chart a new course, one that avoids choosing sides and instead seeks a third way, balancing relationships with both East and West. And so, after years of uncertainty and adaptation, Germany's search for stability and resilience has led directly to today's historic agreement, a turning point in the story of global trade. For decades, Germany believed in Wandel durch Handel, change through trade, with China. Economic engagement brought prosperity, but political liberalization in China never materialized. Instead, China grew more assertive and German industries faced fierce competition from innovative state-backed Volkswagen, Serdebuyan, stakes as Staatsambachler and Chinese firms. By 2023, Germany's trade surplus with China had flipped to a deficit, fueling anxiety in Berlin. Chancellor Merz's government now talks of de-risking, reducing critical dependencies without full decoupling. Security concerns from espionage to rare earths have forced a policy pivot, yet economic integration runs deep, creating a tension between security and prosperity. The new trade deal is Germany's attempt to balance these competing imperatives. It's a bid to secure prosperity while managing the risks of rivalry. While politicians warn of over-reliance, German industry is doubling down on China. Giants like Volkswagen and BASF see China as indispensable, investing billions to localize operations and stay competitive. The In China for China strategy means German firms are innovating and producing for the Chinese market itself. Pulling back, they argue, would mean ceding the future to rivals. A leaked industry survey shows deep anxiety about Chinese competition, pushing even more investment. This corporate reality pressures Berlin to secure a stable environment for business. The new pact is a compromise, balancing industrial interests with strategic caution. In Germany, corporate and national interests are often inseparable. The new agreement is more than tariff cuts. It's a blueprint for managing competition. Germany secures market access and intellectual property protections, addressing long-standing grievances. A bilateral dispute mechanism lets Berlin and Beijing resolve issues privately, sidestepping US and WTO pressure. German investments in key sectors get new guarantees, protecting long-term bets. For China, it's a strategic win, locking in Europe's economic powerhouse and weakening EU unity. The deal moves beyond change through trade, recognizing systemic competition. It's pragmatic, transactional, and transformative, focused on mutual interests, not shared values. Germany gains insulation from trade wars. China secures a vital partner. This recalibration could reshape the rules of global commerce. The German-Chinese pact has exposed deep rifts within the European Union. The EU's dream of a unified China policy is undermined as Germany acts alone to protect its interests. France and others fear being left behind, worried Germany's deal gives its industries an unfair edge. The timing is awkward, just as the EU prepares a tougher economic security doctrine. Berlin's separate pact casts doubt on its commitment to collective EU measures. Smaller states protest, but lack the clout to change Germany's course. The deal highlights the tension between Brussels' ambitions and national interests. Europe is divided, and Beijing is exploiting those divisions. Not all of Europe is alarmed. Some, like Spain, see the German deal as validation. Spain is actively courting Chinese investment in renewables and EV batteries, prioritizing growth over security concerns. The German pact gives political cover for others to follow suit, deepening the EU's internal split. Beijing's divide-and-conquer strategy is working, offering tailored deals to willing partners. The US push for a united Western front is faltering as economic pragmatism prevails. Europe's internal disparities are creating openings for China, one bilateral deal at a time. The German pact signals a shift. Europe is no longer a monolith. Germany's new pact with China forces a tough question. Can economic interests truly be separated from national security, or are they inevitably intertwined? As Berlin forges ahead with new agreements, the stakes have never been higher. The government faces mounting pressure to balance its economic ambitions with the growing need to protect its sovereignty and security. the government seeks prosperity for its powerful industrial base, which relies heavily on exports and global supply chains. Even as intelligence agencies issue stark warnings about the risks of Chinese espionage and sophisticated cyber threats targeting critical infrastructure. Deepening supply chain integration with China could create new vulnerabilities, echoing past mistakes with Russian energy dependence, a lesson Germany learned the hard way during recent crises. The fear is that economic entanglement could become a lever for political pressure. Critics warn that Germany is prioritizing short-term economic gain over long-term resilience and security, risking its future stability for immediate profits. Public debate is intensifying, with many questioning whether the government is underestimating the risks. Recent espionage scandals and high-profile bans on companies like Huawei have only highlighted the dangers, fueling public anxiety and prompting calls for stricter oversight of foreign technology in critical sectors. Yet, despite these warnings, German automakers continue to embed Chinese technology in their products, citing cost, innovation, and the demands of a competitive global market. The government is betting it can manage both, protecting its vital industries while hardening defenses against foreign threats. Officials insist that with the right safeguards, Germany can have the best of both worlds. Security experts, however, remain deeply skeptical, arguing that China sees economics and security as inseparable, and that Germany may be underestimating the challenge of keeping the two apart. Whether this is pragmatic statecraft or a stumble toward dangerous dependency remains to be seen. For now, Germany walks an uncomfortable tightrope, with the world watching to see which way it will lean. The Germany-China pact is a seismic shift, challenging the idea of a unified Western front. Germany has prioritized industrial solvency over transatlantic solidarity, driven by past trade wars and China's market pull. The deal fractures Europe, weakens US influence, and offers a blueprint for others to follow. It signals a move from broad confrontation to complex sector-by-sector negotiation. Germany is betting it can balance prosperity and security on its own terms. The era of a single, US-led global order is over. Multipolarity is here. The game has changed, and every nation must now decide how to play.